Hi, it's Bonnie and welcome to part 2 of my cruise embarkation series, and today I'm excited to share the embarkation process for my 17-night transatlantic journey on Royal Caribbean's Jewel of the Seas. Welcome back. Today I am in Amsterdam. I'm off on a Royal Caribbean Jewel of the Seas cruise to Iceland, Greenland, and Nova Scotia. We'll end up in Boston, so it's 2 days max at sea and then you're somewhere. So it's not like you're continually on a long haul where it's all days at sea, and I can't wait to see what this is like. So I am traveling solo this time again. I haven't done this in a bit of time. I feel kind of out of practice, but let me show you what this will be like on embarkation day. So let's get started. I overnighted here at a hotel near the airport. It's called the Corendon Hotel. One of the best tips I can give you is to stay in an airport hotel that offers a great shuttle service to the airport. It is a huge convenience, and from there you can easily hop on the train and explore downtown Amsterdam, just like I did yesterday when I visited the Rijksmuseum. And if you missed that, make sure to check out my pre-departure video here. There are many people on the same trip, and they'll be doing the same exact thing that I'm doing, but I just thought I'd share this with you. This is a good hotel. It is very popular, and it is a Marriott affiliated hotel if you are into your points. So I'm going to meet the cruise shuttle. I'm taking an airport shuttle. I had a wonderful day in Amsterdam. So you know how it is with travel. It's about half of it is trying to figure out how to get somewhere. And so I was so tired, but I was able to figure that out. Make a long story short, I enjoyed the museum. I saw lots of different beautiful canals and things all around the area. So my big challenge today is, how will I find the Royal Caribbean cruise person in this huge airport with 4 different exits? They walk around with signs, I think. I don't know how this is going to work anywhere. They don't have an actual station or a stand. So this should be interesting. But it's kind of how it happens. So let's see how the rest of my check-in goes. I know I'm rambling a bit. They say this is so easy to work between the airport and the hotel. It's simple. So it's a matter of, what is your preference? Do you want to stay downtown where it's a little further away and then you have to take a cab and deal with that, or would you rather just stay near the airport and just take the shuttle from the cruise ship? And that's what I've opted to do, just because I'm traveling by myself and it's just a little easier. And I know that just traveling downtown, there's lots of cobblestone. I have a lot of luggage, and this time I think I'm taking the easy route. I've learned that cobblestone and wheels don't always work well together, so this is just a better way to go for me. So that's why I chose to stay near the airport. When you take a cruise on Royal Caribbean, they have everything by app. I think that's how it is pretty much for everybody, but you have to fill out a health questionnaire at the very last moment. So this is what you have to show for check-in. So you don't necessarily need to bring a paper copy. Some people bring paper copies in case their phone's not working or the Wi-Fi doesn't work. But my check-in time is 1:30. I'm going to try to go a little early and see if I can, but I don't know. I'm like a little bit intimidated by the airport size and trying to find this particular person because it's a very loose schedule. I've tried to nail it down, like, is it at the meeting point? Is it at the 3rd and 4th section? Is it at the 1st and 2nd? So it's somewhere in the airport, in baggage, out of international baggage area. So we'll see if I can find it. I don't know. The morning of embarkation, I left my hotel, the Corendon, and caught the shuttle back to Schiphol Airport. And if you're staying here, the shuttle is reliable and runs every 30 minutes, making it real convenient for cruisers. Now, if you're wondering how to find the Royal Caribbean representative at Schiphol, it can be a bit tricky if you don't know what to look for. So here we are at the train station / airport, and now I need to just figure out where to go from here. A lot going on here. It's like a gigantic shopping center within the airport / train station. The rep is located right past customs, through the doors that you exit from baggage. My representative was a woman in a uniform holding a white sign. She will direct you to a small rolling desk that says hospitality in the waiting area. The shuttle costs $29 and it takes you all the way to the Amsterdam Port. And it's well worth it for the peace of mind, in my opinion. The arrivals is there, the hospitality desk is there. This is the waiting area that you'll be waiting in for your group. My group is 5. I was a little leery of how I was going to meet this. I see Viking here, but I wasn't sure how that was going to work out. But she had a sign and it was really easy to find her. No problem at all. So you can spend the night and meet at the airport. It isn't as bad as you would think. In this huge place, they do find you, and the hospitality desk has a roster. They check you off and you're good to go. So next is Embarkation. This was quick, easy, and it is convenient. So I'm glad I did it. It's 12 o'clock, so I'm a little early. So we let off in like a garage area. Here. Embarkation was a breeze. A big tip I learned: you can check in a little earlier than your designated time on the set sail pass. I got there around 12:30, a full hour ahead of my check-in time, and they didn't mind at all. I was on board the Jewel of the Seas and ready to start exploring. I just had to wait for my room to be ready at 1 o'clock. So it's check-ins on the second floor. It's a pretty terminal. It's big. It's not where I thought at all, so it's not near downtown. I mean, it is, but I don't know how to get here. I wouldn't have known. Let's check in over here. And there's our ship over there. Check-in is super easy. You just basically walk up to a number, show your ID and your passport, and that's it. It's that simple. So now I'm ready to get on board. It took about 5 minutes. It's the boarding area. This is my ship. Jewel of the Seas. They have some photos over there. One fun thing, the ladies were handed a paper mache type tulip as we boarded, which was a sweet touch and different from anything I've experienced before. This is Embarkation. Check-in is complete. Now it's off to the muster station. So this is my muster station over here. Rooms are ready at 1. I got on at 12 something. 12:25. They didn't look at the times. It doesn't even matter. So it's honestly, it's like when you can get here, you can just get on. But everyone was out in the area waiting for their rooms. They just got finished. It's 1 o'clock. I ordered a coffee at the coffee place behind me because now as a Diamond member, you get coffee vouchers as well as the drink vouchers, which surprises me because they didn't used to do that. So that's nice. It's a nice feature for the loyalty members. The muster station was easy. She basically asked me, did I watch the muster station drill and just scan my boarding pass to make sure that I registered. So you always want to do that the first thing you get on. It's the easiest. I have to go to my room, C-Pass card to see where I'm sitting for dinner to coordinate that. But right now I'm just taking a break and having a cup of coffee. I feel like a little jet lagged. It's been really smooth so far. Next cruise. So I headed to my room. It's an Oceanview Room on deck 3, and I was a bit surprised by how much I enjoyed it. So let's see what we have here. I had booked a guaranteed room, so I didn't know what I would get, and it turned out to be perfect. Being on the lower deck meant I was closer to the water, and I felt little to no movement during my cruise. A tip I can say is don't be afraid of a lower deck room. It can actually be really calming. And by the way, that anchor that I saw outside my window wasn't an anchor after all. It was something from the port that disappeared once we set sail. So this is what is the specials? I got my welcome thing here, excursion things. Cruise compass has gone green, and then some events that are happening and information about the Crown Lounge. I haven't been on a lower floor in a long time, but I believe this was a room they chose for me. I didn't choose this room. These are just things you need to kind of be aware of when you give them the option of picking your room. I think it's a kind of a full cruise. So this is what I have to contend with, and let's see how, if it's noisy, if it's not, I'll let you know. If you're ever confused about your muster station, it's located right here on your SeaPass card as well, but you do have to check in there before the ship leaves, or they will call you. And then right here is your dining. So I'm not sure what this table is. I have to go check it out. So I'm gonna go check that out right now. On embarkation day, before dinner, make sure to check your dining table. Check ahead of the crowd. So this is the dining room. It's two-tiered. There's 5 and 4. This is how it looks. It's always a good idea because you want to make sure it's to your liking. And if it doesn't matter to you, no worries. And I'm noticing my table is right here at the end. So now we're going to a 262 to see if it's a better table for me. I'll just check. So now I've changed to this one, 262. Actually, that works. That will be fine. I know I'm a little particular about my table. I take so many pictures. I just hate to bother anybody with my camera. So this way it'll be by itself. It's perfect. Did you know that for My Time Dining, you can request the same dining time and table if you really enjoyed it? Just speak to the host or hostess after your meal and let them know. I've learned that being friendly and patient with the staff goes a long way in making sure you have a great experience. When I did check in at the dining room area to change my table, I noticed people in line, and I guess a lot of people weren't given what they asked for. Like someone thought they were having early seating and they were put at late seating, and then other people thought they had My Time Dining and they didn't. So it was just a lot of people in line. It took a bit of time, but it's worth it to get that all situated before you even start, because as time goes on, it's going to only get more and more people and you might not get what you want. So as cumbersome as it is, I would check with dining if you're not satisfied. Because some people don't like high traffic areas, some people don't want to be wherever. I mean, you might not want to be stuck in the middle of a bunch of different people. It's just like all various things that people have. So make sure you check that out. I checked in with the dining so they can handle your specialty dining reservations. If you bought a dining package, they can do that right there at the check-in part of the dining when you talk to them. So you don't have to do all your dining right at the time you walk in today. You can do it as time goes on. I just booked 2 of my 3, and the 3rd one I'm not sure when I want, so I will figure that out. It's a nice day today here in Amsterdam. So there's the sky bar, the pool bar. You got your movies there, and then there's the band there singing. It's a mellow embarkation day. I took a tour of the spa, which is definitely something to check out on embarkation day.
So this is the seaweed masseur.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. The prices for the spa. Let's zoom in a little closer here. So, let's see. They even have a spa raffle at 5 o'clock, and you can win all kinds of prizes or discounts for massages or facials. But I didn't win anything, but hey, you never know, it's worth entering. I have won in the past though. So I just had this spa tour. They don't have any kind of sauna rooms or anything like that. They have a sauna in a locker room that's free of charge for anyone, but there isn't any kind of whirlpool or relaxation thermal suite or anything like that. It's just pretty basic. because it is an older ship. But this is a sister ship to the Brilliance of the Seas. Like I say, it's very similarly designed. Instead of Park Cafe, you have Solarium Cafe. Chairs have been taken out by the windows, replaced by tables. It's nice that the solarium has a closed top. I don't know if that opens up, but that will be nice for when it's so cold. It's nice and warm in here. Your solarium cafe is here, and your pool. The spa tour was, it really wasn't a hard sell at all. So that was nice that for a change, they didn't try to sell things too much. It's a nice day here in Amsterdam. I think now I'm going to go check out something to eat at the buffet. It's a little windy. Just got into the buffet before it closed. I'm on the after, and this is my view. Sailaway party was full of energy. Even though it was windy, people were dancing, and we got a lovely farewell from the staff who waved from the departure platform. That's exactly where I was sitting yesterday. The seating over there. For dinner, I headed to one of my favorite specialty restaurants, Izumi. It's an Asian-inspired restaurant, and I love dining there on the first night because it's always so calm with hardly anyone around. It's like having personalized service for $35. The food is delicious, and the experience is always worth it. There's miso soup. After dinner, I wandered around and caught some trivia in the schooner bar. And checked out the Centrum, where the energy is always high. And even though it got a bit foggy and windy outside, the inside entertainment was lively.
Thank you. What is your name? Where are you from? Over here, that's the one. Introduce me. Yes, sir. Your name, please.
I ended the night with an 8:30 spa appointment, which I booked earlier. Here's another tip. If you book a massage for Embarkation Day online, you can get a discount. Check the shore excursion section of the Royal Caribbean website for specials before you board. Unfortunately, the weather got a bit rough as time moved on that evening, and deck 11 was closed. So I'm trying to get to the spa. That was my last thing of the night, but all the upper deck is closed off, and they sent me walking through the staterooms to get there. They won't let anybody on the pool deck. It's too windy and rainy. The higher decks were quite rocky, but I made it just fine. I had a seaweed massage. In a funny twist, the hot water ran out. My spa person and I were laughing as we relocated to the sauna showers. It was a little messy, but nothing that spoiled the experience. To wrap up the night, I watched the balloon drop from deck 12 to the Centrum below on deck 4. It was such a fun way to end an eventful first day aboard the Jewel of the Seas. That was very an interesting experience. I had to literally hold on to railings, so rocky that they could hardly even stand straight. And all the pools closed and everything. That's just within a matter of a couple hours, so I don't know what I have to expect on this cruise. It's pretty rocky, but I luckily got assigned to floor 3. I don't feel any movement on this floor. So keep that in mind. I know it's nice to be up above near the buffet and the pool. When you have this kind of weather, you might want to think about lower floors because it's not so bad. I really don't feel it. So it's been a good day. So that's how your embarkation can go. I managed to do pretty much everything that I expected to do, and I would suggest, if you can, to try to take an airline that goes more direct, and also maybe spend a few days wherever you're going to get acclimated to the time, because I feel really jet lagged. I had another luggage issue. The handle of my luggage won't go down. I don't know what it is with me and luggage, but Anyway, I'm philosophical about it. It's just how it is. Still gonna go home with that luggage and just tell them I can't, it won't work. As usual, if you found this helpful, informative, or you've learned something, please give that a thumbs up. Subscribe for more cruise tips and information. Thanks so much for watching. This will be a great trip, and check out the playlist on the Jewel of the Seas, and I'll show you everything it has to offer, as well as our wonderful ports of call, and I'll let you know what it's like to go to Iceland. We're right there at the Arctic Circle practically, so it's going to be an experience, and I can't wait to show you how beautiful it is there. Happy cruising, and until next time. But I really enjoy looking out at the water. It's kind of peaceful this low. It's kind of like the dining room level. It's a peaceful room. Of course, you can open the curtains as much as you want.